Hello, this is Keenan Park, and this is Wylock 7th grade worksheet lesson 17. For our first problem, Jackie has 5 bottles of lemonade, and she needs at least 100. And each pack of lemonade contains 12 bottles. So you can see I've written out my inequality here. Each pack is 12 bottles, so I multiply them, and I add that to the original number of bottles, and this needs to be greater than or equal to 100. Now we solve. So we have 12p is greater than or equal to 95. Divide both sides by 12 to give us p is greater than or equal to 95 over 12. And that's equal to 7 and 11 over 12. So the smallest number that's greater than that would be 8. So our answer is C. For our next problem, there are 3 bikes and X cars. We want to find the greatest number of cars so that the wheels are less than 31. So each bike has 2 wheels, and each car has 4 wheels. And this is less than 31. This is equal to 6. Subtract from both sides. Divide. And so the greatest number that's less than 6 1/4 is just 6. The greatest integer, that is. A whole number. This problem is missing a bit of information. It should say each bouquet is 7 flowers. So we can't spend more than 100 flowers, so we want it to be less than or equal to 100. And 7 times the number of bouquets. Divide both sides by 7. 7, not 2. And then you'll get 14, and you'll have 2 7s remaining. So the greatest number that's below this would be 14. Tigran wants to pay a bill of $28 with banknotes of $5. What's the least number of bills he needs to pay? You can't pay less than $28. That's called scamming someone. You need to pay at least $28. So we want it to be greater than or equal to 28. And that's 5 times the number of banknotes. Divide both sides by 5. This gives you 5 and 3/5. So the smallest number that's greater than that would be 6. Smallest whole number. And then there's a start fee. And then there's $3 for every mile. So the start fee is constant, it doesn't change. Whereas the $3 for every mile is multiplied by the number of miles. So we should see the 3 next to the variable and then the plus 5. That means these are wrong because they have the numbers switched. And now the cab driver will not drive like infinite miles for $30. So we have a maximum number of miles, which actually means that we should be spending less than $30, which means this less than or equal to is correct. Because the 3x plus 5 is the amount of money we spend, or is being charged. So we want the amount to be less than $30. For this book problem, it's similar. She starts with 25 pages on the book, which means it can't be one of these because these start with 20. The part that's changing is how many days she reads, and so that's multiplied by the x, but that should be 20. So it should be this or this. And then we need to read at least 245 pages. If we read less than that, then we did not finish the book. So that means it should be greater than or equal to 245, which means C is correct. And now I will very quickly solve these inequalities. As you improve your speed, hopefully you can become similar or better than me. And let's begin. So for all of these, you just need to isolate the variable, and that should be all. So I'll be showing my work here. You multiply both sides by 2. And then you divide both sides by 0.3. Multiply both sides by 3. Divide both sides by 1.4. And now this one is special because, let me just first multiply both sides by 2. Both sides are negative, so when we multiply by a -1 on both sides, we actually need to flip the sign of the center part, the inequality, because that's a rule. When you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to flip the center. Don't forget that. This next problem also shows that rule, so you can see it again. Alright. I flipped around the whole thing, but that was just to make it easier for me. You could keep it on the same side and it'll still be the same thing. These two things are the same. Divide both sides by 1.2. Divide both sides by 4. That's all for today. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.